Greetings, fellow dominators. Um, the time has come for us to begin to be ever mindful of the power we possess. It's time to start playing with this power to see how it works, um, pushing the envelope to see how far we can go with it. And in doing that, you have to know that it's limitless. It's just about finding where it is right now so you can begin to exercise it and develop it uh, to make it grow and expand. Um, God has already given us the power. In various scriptures that it says that God has given us a spirit of power, not of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And you have to love your sound mind. You have to love your power and not be ashamed of how powerful you are. When you come to the realization of how powerful you really, really are, like how powerful you really are, you have to accept it boldly. This being ashamed or trying to play down your power or how imperative you are in whatever environment you find yourself in, you have to upplay that. You have to allow that to exude from the very core of your being, as opposed to trying to make those around you feel more comfortable by causing it to fizzle out or downplay it or water it down. Let it be potent. Let it be what it is. It's a gift from God. You should never be ashamed of a gift given to you by your Creator. You should always accept it and show Him that you're grateful for it and you appreciate it by walking in it, by remaining mindful of it constantly. That is the way that you get more out of it. Your awareness of its capacity or its limitless essence begins to enter into your awareness, and you begin to see the constant evolution of all of these gifts and talents that God has already instilled in you. So it's very important to do that. Um, Power, just focusing on your God-given power. God is power, and He gives you His power. So we're talking about the God in you uh, coming forth, realizing who you really are. That's important. We want this power to help us execute various goals and plans that we have on a daily basis, monthly basis, yearly basis. We just want to tap into it and develop it into the point or to the point to where it creates a momentum, and then it begins to almost operate on its own. You'll see this power just move almost like on your behalf just because you've developed it to that point. It's an ever flowing, constant radiating type entity that is effective in your everyday life. So it's important that we begin to realize that, broaden our awareness on it. Well, how do we do that? We do that by first recognizing the various areas that we already see it. Where do you see it? It exists. And that's part of the thing too, is you have to know it already exists. And in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you are implementing it and exercising it and benefiting from it. So the key is to begin to pay attention, more attention, to how you go about your daily lives and begin to recognize when you see it, no matter how small you think it may be. The important thing is to realize the principle of power. When you talk about the principle of power, you take away the whole size thing, whether it be large or small. It's still what it is in principle. And when you're able to recognize it, your power, that is, in principle, then you can see how or why it was exhibited in that way, and then begin to develop it and purposefully implement it in various areas. And again, like we talked about with dominion, power is part of your dominion. It's like faith, which is also considered a muscle, and you begin to develop it. It begins to grow. It begins to expand. Okay, so it's very important that we walk in this power, realize that we have it, and walk in it. The scripture is chock full of various parables, various incidents where these men and women of God begin to walk into this power. They came across this power, into the knowledge of this power through different avenues in different ways in different times and stages in their lives, but they all came to a point where they realized that they had this power. Part of the realization that they had when they achieved realizing that they had this power was a very seemingly, this is probably the best word to use at this moment, aggressiveness. I know that's taboo for many people um, because they interpret it differently. In various circumstances, aggressiveness can be a good thing, and in other situations, aggressiveness can be considered a bad thing. But in this manner, we're talking about it being a good thing. If you don't have any umph about you, any gumption, any this is what I say it is, and this is what it shall be, uh, then you need to see aggressiveness as a positive thing because you need to implement more of that. That's, again, closely related to your dominion. Let's go back to uh, football or basketball. Cheerleaders, I remember them chanting when I played sports. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. See, so if you're being aggressive in that manner, where you're scoring the winning touchdown or making a game-winning tackle or whatever the case may be, that's considered a positive thing. So we need to take that out of that context and begin to apply it in our lives and be more aggressive in claiming our power, in claiming our dominion. Uh, it's something that you have to claim. There's several times when uh, you have the opportunity to exhibit it and claim it, but then you kind of hold back. The time for holding back on it is over. It's time to actually implement it and take hold of it and never let it go.